The actual day, the monument had to be unloaded. We started about 8 in the morning. I think it took all day. It was like 8 to about 4. So I mean, it was October, so it was getting dark, and so it was a full day of one stage or the other, because they had to, my brother and my husband had to dig where the monument would go. They had to dig, so that just digging a hole took quite a while, and getting it unloaded and then getting it set and getting it level. I mean, all of that was a lot of time doing that. And then once we got it level and set, then it was time to figure out how to get in. And it was one false start after another when we were counting on the metal detectors to work. They so didn't work, and so it was one thing after another, and you just go with the next thought, always with an eye on preserving the integrity of the monument to stand. So,
and I'm kind of curious too. This is the first time we've been here to cover this convention. How meaningful is it to you, as John Neihardt's granddaughter, to see something like this dedicated to a family member, and to see people have such interest in a family member?
It's like being several different people. Because first and foremost, John Neihardt was an incredibly wonderful grandfather. Super smart, but funny, and a lot of fun. A lot of, always a twinkle in his eye, a lot of adventure. He'd play cards with us, and you could see the cards reflecting in his glasses, and we giggled because we knew what he was going to do, and he knew we knew, and it was a great grandfather on every level. And then as you know that there's something special about him as a little kid, and then as you grow up and you finally start reading what you wrote, it's like, oh my goodness, I need more of this. And unfortunately, he died when I was 21, and I was still, very young. And I'd read some of his works, but I wasn't smart enough to understand it. And so I love all of this because I keep learning. I keep learning what he knew, and so it's like, if I could have done a mind meld before he died, that would have been wonderful, but that wasn't an option, right? And so the ability to honor him and keep on learning and learning and learning a little bit of what he knew and what he was all about, it's magical to me. And so to me, it's kind of like there are two people that I'm connected to. One is my grandfather that I would do anything for, including open a monument, and the other is this individual that is so beyond my ability and my sense and my creativity and my personal abilities that you don't feel related in the same way, right? It's like two people. It's like, where did he come from? That can touch part of the gene pool is a little wild, because it all concentrated in him, right? And his wife, the sculptress Mona Martinsen Neihardt. And so that's always a little magical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally.
And so it's like they're two different people.
Yeah.
And but the chance to honor the beloved grandfather and keep on learning what he knew is what it's all about. And it's kind of a strange and wonderful, wonderful lifelong thing.
It's a very rare blessing too, to have so many thoughts and ideas and everything preserved of a loved ones, and I have to imagine that's a real gift.
It is a gift, and so you read he always said that the books are written on many different levels, and you understand the book at the level that you're on. And so at 2021, I made great grades in school, but it was pretty low level, right? Compared to him. And so every so often I go back and reread everything, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is brand new. It's like, did I read it before? Because there was so much more. And so I've reread everything probably 5 times, and in stages in my life, and the impact of how much more you gain because you understand a little bit more, you've learned a little bit more, and you can hear with a greater intensity. And so I think that's so much of the message of any great writer or any great individual is that as you grow a little bit, they can take you another notch higher because you understand more of what they knew all along. And so I find that as so there's the dedication to the grandfather, the dedication to learning what he was about and what he knew.
What do you think ultimately is the greatest lesson that you've learned in going back through his work so many times?
You know, the more complex always ends up in the simple. And he and my grandmother, Mona, used to start the day before the children got up, down drinking coffee and talking about what they called the enduring values, the higher values. And my mother, Hilda, used to creep down the stairs as a little kid. She didn't know what they were talking about, but it felt like a magical, mystical moment, and she was attracted to it as a child. She would creep down and she would hide on the stairs and listen to them talk. And so there's that piece that goes through my family of what that's all about, and that the dedication to a different way of thinking about the world. That's it. That's it and everything.